Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Felicia Mufa, and in today's video we are going to be reading Divorce Prescription from chapter 20 onwards. So if you just click this video, in this channel we are currently reading a story called Divorce Prescription, which is a story of Adam Alvarez and Celine Tate, and I believe you're really going to enjoy the story because it's such an interesting story. It is very interesting. This is the usual occurrences in marriages and relationships, although I believe it shouldn't be normalized, but it really happens. So I believe you're going to learn a whole lot from the story. So if you are new to this channel, don't forget to give this channel. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe so that anytime I upload a new video, you get notified. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So the last time, which was chapter 20, chapter 20 is when Celine gave Adam a recipe of his grandmother's herbal medicine, and Adam said that he's going to give to a professional doctor to check for him because he doesn't want to make any mistakes. So we are going to find out. We are going to find out from chapter 21 onwards, which is actually, I think the title is a blind date. Adam's demeanor instantly turned icy. He reached up and loosened the buttons on his shirt. There were a couple of dings. As Robin's WhatsApp messages came flooding in. They were accompanied by audio clips that automatically played, echoing clearly in the room. Celine, check this guy out. 8-pack abs and a gym enthusiast. Do you like him? You could rest your head on his abs and fall asleep. And this one, he looks shy and obedient like a little puppy type. He looks like a lot of fun. What about this one, a corporate elite with gold rimmed glasses, looking so cold and aloof? Should we have him kneel and serenade you? So she's actually giving another cold person to Celine. Celine, all of these men are part of your harem. Take your pick. Adam's lips pressed into a grim line. He genuinely hadn't known Celine has so-called harem of handsome men. At that moment, Celine picked up her phone and replied with a voice message. All right, I'll be there soon. When she turned, she saw Adam standing behind her. She held out the piece of paper in her hand. Mr. Alvarez, this is Grandma's medicinal soup recipe. Boil it over high heat every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for an hour. Make sure she drinks it while it's still warm. Adam glanced at the paper. So this was what she had been writing earlier. It was a detailed recipe with a neat, delicate handwriting listing various medicinal ingredients. He looked at her. You know medicine? Celine responded nonchalantly. A little. I studied it. Adam didn't take the paper. For safety's sake, I will have a doctor review the recipe. Celine wasn't surprised. She knew Adam had never thought much of her, merely viewing her as a simple girl from the countryside. She could understand. After all, Adam was a man born into privilege, a golden boy of high society. Without another word, she placed the recipe on the table, picked up her bag, and said, I won't come to Alvarez residence anymore. You can find a time to tell Grandma about her divorce. With that, she turned and walked toward the door. But Adam grabbed her slender wrist. Okay, guys. The kids are making noise. My neighbor's kids are making noise, so you have to take it like that. She could understand. After all, Adam was a man born into privilege, a golden boy of high society. Without another word, she placed the recipe on the table, picked up her bag, and said, I won't come back to Alvarez residence anymore. You can find a time to tell Grandma about her divorce. With that, she turned and walked toward the door. But Adam grabbed her slender wrist, stopping her in her tracks. Where are you going this late? Celine paused, trying to pull her wrist free. Mr. Alvarez, let go. Adam stared at her cool, detached face. It was so different from last night. Last night she had been a temptress, clinging tightly to him with her captivating eyes, kissing him like a greedy little kitten. She had been the one teasing him, and now she was pulling away without a second thought. Adam snarled. Who are you going to meet this late? The guy with 8-pack abs, the puppy type, or the aloof one? Celine, I didn't realize you were so bold. Be careful you don't end up with something that... Okay. With her wrist still in his grip, Celine swung her free hand and slapped him hard across the face. Adam's head turned from the force of the slap, his sharp features momentarily thrown into shadow. She had hit him with so much strength, her palms stank. Adam's eyes flashed with a dangerous red hue as he pushed her backward. Her knees hit the edge of the bed, and she fell into the soft mattress. In the next second, the room darkened as Adam's tall figure loomed over her. He pinned her down, glaring at her from above. Celine, are you addicted to slapping me? He asked. He deserved it, guys. This was the second time she had hit him. Even Carly wouldn't dare do so. Carly wouldn't dare to do so. If he so much as frowned at Kali, she would rush over to appease him because Kali and Celine are different. Kali is Kali will worship Adam. She will do everything. Even if Adam is doing something wrong, she will say, "Oh, what you're doing is right." As long as Adam will give her what she wants, she will just approve everything that Adam does because she's gonna make something from it, right? Who did this woman think he was? Did she really believe she could strike him whenever she pleased? Celine's icy gaze met his. So you do know playing around with multiple partners can lead to STDs. Were you conveniently forgetting that when you offered to find me one or several men last night? Adam froze momentarily stunned. Now he's tuned. Chapter 22. At this moment, Celine lay beneath Adam, her long jet black hair spilled like a waterfall across the bright red sheets of their marital bed, which had been personally arranged by Adam's grandmother. The crimson fabric highlighted her fair, luminous skin, creating a sensual scene. He began imagining if she were lying like this under another man, she would. Adam clenched his fist tightly. He wanted to explain that he had sent an antidote to her last night, not a man, but the words were stuck in his throat. Celine looked up at him and said coldly, "Get off." However, Adam didn't budge. Celine began to struggle. The thought of him bringing Kali to Westwood Villa last night made her recoil at any physical contact with him. "Adam, get off me. You were already with Kali last night. Gosh, did you even clean yourself after, after that?" Adam didn't answer. His hands pinned both of hers to the bed, and his voice dropped to a stern warning. "Celine, stop moving." Of course, Celine had no intention of listening. She only struggled harder beneath him. The difference reminded Adam of her teasing from the night before, when she clung to him, her soft lips exploring him. That memory ignited a spark of desire that darkened his gaze. Okay. Celine noticed the change immediately. She froze, her wide eyes staring at him in shock. "Are you?" Adam cursed under his breath, quickly releasing her and sitting up. "I'm not." Celine sat up as well, but Adam interrupted with a sharp look. "Celine, isn't all this anger just because I spent last night with Kali and not with you? What are you thinking? Did you actually believe I would touch you?" Celine's face went pale. His words were a slap in the face, humiliating her deeply. So, the feeling she noticed earlier was just her own delusion. There was no way he would feel anything for her. As she stood up, Celine retorted, "If that's the case, then don't concern yourself with the type of men I choose to spend time with." Adam's face darkened. "You." Seeing his anger only made Celine smile. "Let me know when you are ready to finalize the divorce. Until then, you can do whatever you want and so will I. We will each play our own games." As she spoke, her clear, expressive eyes drifted to Adam's thin lips. "Oh, and maybe work on your kissing skills when you have the time. Do you even know how to kiss Mr. Alvarez?" So with that, she turned and walked out, leaving him behind. Adam remained seated on the bed, his broad chest rising and, and falling with heavy breaths. A storm of unexplainable anger and gloom engulfed him, casting a shadow over his entire being. That damn woman. What was wrong with his kissing skills? Why did she keep bringing it up? Adam let out a sarcastic laugh, realizing her tactic. It was all a ploy to provoke him into kissing her again, just like her earlier insinuations about his masculinity. Her tricks hadn't changed at all. He reminded himself that a woman like Celine, shallow, beautiful, but without substance, wasn't his type. The fact that he had felt desire for her twice was nothing more than a reflection of his normal male instincts. Okay. At that moment, his phone rang. It was Kali. Adam adjusted his expression and answered, "Hey, Kali." Her cheerful voice immediately came through. "Adam, come to the bar quickly. Nathan just got back from abroad. Did you forget to throw him a welcome party?" So guys, one of my favorite characters is actually in the story. Who is Nathan? Guys, I like the guy. I like how he treated Celine in the story. And then came Perry. And then I like Perry more. So let's continue. Chapter 23. Adam pinched the bridge of his nose, realizing he had truly forgotten about it. Nathan Lynch was back. The Alvarez and Lynch families had long been the most prominent in Mary City, their ties going back generations. Generally, Adam and Nathan had grown up close friends. Nathan's return was a big deal, and now Kali, Benjamin, and Melody were all waiting in Club 1996. Melody's cheerful voice chimed in through the phone. "Adam, hurry up and come." Melody had always liked Nathan. Her dream was to marry him, but Nathan's high standards made it nearly impossible for any woman to catch his eye. Adam replied, "I'll be there soon." As he stood, he wondered why it bothered him so much that Celine was not looking for other men. Why was he even angry? She was just a girl from the countryside, someone with nothing better to do than chase men, shallow. That was all she was. She couldn't compare to Carly. If she wanted to play, so be it. Let her play with whoever she wanted. That night, a Ferrari sped down the road with a roar, its sleek frame cutting through the air like lightning. Ruby leaned back in the passenger seat, enjoying the breeze. Celine, where did you get this car? Celine, who was wearing oversized black sunglasses, was at the wheel. The wind whipped through her long hair, making it dance wildly as she drove with a carefree and confident air. Adam gave it to me, she replied. At the mention of money, Ruby's annoyance toward Adam is just a little. Adam might be a complete jerk, but he's definitely generous. I mean, huge checks, sports cars, and houses. He gives them all without a second thought. Celine's lips curled into a faint smile. That was true enough. Just then, a soft ding sounded from behind them. A silver Lamborghini that had clearly been modified sped up to catch them. Celine glanced at her rearview mirror and saw the car pull alongside her. She recognized it immediately. Many heirs of top families love fast cars, racing and customizing their rides. Now, side by side with Ferrari, the driver of the Lamborghini, a strikingly handsome man, looked at her with amused interest. Hey, pretty lady, I don't remember seeing you around Mary City before. How about exchanging phone numbers? Like today, I don't know if my reading is actually going well. I don't know. I think I'm a bit exhausted. Celine hadn't expected a casual nighttime drive turn into an unsolicited. Celine hadn't expected a casual nighttime drive to turn into an unsolicited flirtation. Without responding, she turned her gaze back to the road and pressed harder on the accelerator. The Ferrari surged forward, cutting through the night like an arrow. Wow, Ruby shouted, thrilled in the passenger seat. Celine, that was so cool. Celine ached an eyebrow. Back when she was abroad, she dabbed in street racing. Shaking off a challenger was no big deal, but then her smile froze. The Lamborghini was catching up again, its driver raising an elegant eyebrow and flashing a playful grin. His expression said it all. He found this incredibly interesting. Celine didn't say anything and she pressed the accelerator again. The Ferrari responded with another burst of speed, but the Lamborghini remained relentless, chasing her down the road. The sight of two luxury sports cars weaving through traffic turned heads everywhere. They soon reached a crossroads. With a calculated move, Celine faked a turn, causing the Lamborghini to adjust to follow her. In the same instant, the span and the wheel sharply and darted into a narrow alley. The Lamborghini attempted to follow, but a loud honk sounded as a massive truck barreled into the intersection, blocking its path. Nathan had no choice but to stop his car. He watched helplessly as the Ferrari disappeared down the alley. Before it vanished, a slender fair hand emerged from the driver's side window. The lady gave him a thumbs up, then turned it upside down. Nathan couldn't help but smile at this. After years away from Mary City, he had finally encountered someone intriguing. Let's go to chapter 24. Nathan pulled out his phone and snapped a picture of the Ferrari's license plate. Just then, his phone rang. It was Adam calling, likely to remind him to head to Club 1996. Nathan turned the car around. Mary City was Adam's turf. After all, once he got to the club, he could simply ask Adam to look up the Ferrari's owner. Celine drove into the alley, and Ruben cheered. Celine, my neighborhood is very noisy. Okay? My neighborhood is the most noisiest neighborhood ever. This your love, it is all I want. This your grace, now all I need. Daddy, but let me see you. Celine drove into the alley and Ruben cheered. Celine, you lost him. Right then, a loud bang echoed as the Ferrari crashed into a wall. Celine's legs felt weak. She hadn't raced in 3 years, and facing such a strong opponent at high speed had her heart pounding in her chest. Both she and Ruben got out of the car, inspecting the damage. The Ferrari's front end was crumbled entirely. Ruben's legs wobbled as she asked, Celine, what do we do now? Celine steadied herself and regained her composure. No problem, I'll call Adam's personal assistant to handle it. She then quickly dialed Leo's number. Back at the club 1996, Nathan had arrived and headed straight to the luxurious private booth. Adam was seated in the main spot on the sofa, and Nathan sat beside him. These two men were the untouchable, unattainable ice skates of Mary City and the dream of countless socialites. Together, they became the brightest stars of the club. Melody was thrilled. Her crush had returned from abroad, and her gaze lingered longingly on Nathan. She even made a point to sit beside him. Meanwhile, Carly sat next to Adam, surrounded by a few hairs from their social circle, creating a lively atmosphere. Benjamin beamed. Nathan, it's been years since we've seen you. Finally, you are back. The other hairs laughed and teased Nathan. Tell us, are the beauties abroad more interesting than the ones here in Mercy City? Did they steal your heart? Nathan swallowed the drink in his glass, raising an eyebrow as he chuckled. No, the women in Mercy City are still more intriguing. The hairs laughed in agreement. Exactly. The most beautiful women in Mercy City, Miss Carly and Miss Melody, are both right here. Carly's maker at the mention. She was used to being hailed as Mercy City's top beauty. At this moment, Melody gazed sweetly at Nathan, hoping to catch his attention. But Nathan's eyes gazed past both women. He turned instead to Adam, who was sitting beside him. Adam, I need you to look someone for me. Sorry, Adam, I need you to look up. I need you to look someone up for me. Adam clinked his glass against Nathan's. A man or a woman? Nathan's lips curled into a smirk. A woman. Adam sipped his drinks leisurely. No wonder you are late tonight. Did you run into someone you caught your eye? Nathan chuckled but didn't deny it. Adam, who had known Nathan for years, raised an eyebrow. Looks like you are serious this time. What's she like? He was genuinely curious about the type of woman Nathan would be interested in. Nathan thought for a moment before answering. She's ethereal but fiery, gets under your skin and makes your heart race. The room fell silent for a moment. Benjamin and the other hairs were still. Nathan, who is this woman? Which of Mercy's beauties could she be? You are not talking about Miss Carly or Miss Melody. Now we are all dying to know who this ethereal and fiery beauty is. Who is caught your eye? Nathan was famously hard to please, and no one had ever managed to win him over. The idea of this mystery woman intrigued everyone. Carly's good mood evaporated, the smile slipping from her lips. Meanwhile, Melody froze completely. Nathan pulled out his phone and showed Adam the photo he had taken of the Ferrari's license plate. Adam, check this car for me. Adam lowered his gaze to the photo and his sharp dark eyes narrowed instantly. The Ferrari in the image looked very familiar. He glanced at Nathan. The woman you are looking for was driving this car? Nathan nodded. Yes, and she managed to shake me off. She's quite interesting. Adam's memory clicked. This Ferrari was the one he had gifted to Celine. Along with a substantial check, he had given her a few cars and properties. Leo later reported that Celine had only chosen a Ferrari. At the time, Adam had found it odd. Could she even drive a sports car? He knew Nathan's driving skills well. They had occasionally raced together, yet somehow, Celine, a woman from the countryside, guys, the countryside just is had managed to outmaneuver Nathan in a race. In that moment, Leo approached them. Mr. Alvarez, Adam stood. I will step out for a moment. I don't know. I think doing it like this is much better. Adam stood. I'll step out for a moment. He left in the luxurious booth and moved to a dimly light corner where Leo spoke in a harsh tone. Mr. Alvarez, Mrs. Alvarez called earlier. She took the Ferrari out for a drive tonight and it seems to have gotten into a street race. The car crashed into a wall and the front was totaled. Adam's expression darkened. Was she hurt? Leo shook her head. No, Miss Alvarez wasn't injured. Mr. Alvarez, should we send the car for repairs abroad? Adam's voice was icy. No, get rid of the car. The guy is such a psycho. He wants Leo to get rid of the car so that Nathan will never be able to trace the woman. There's something wrong with him, right? Okay. Leo was still. Mr. Alvarez, do you mean dispose of it? I don't want anyone to be able to trace that car. Is that clear? A cold sweat broke out on Leo's back. Someone had clearly provoked Adam. His temper was now as explosive as a lit fuse. Understood. Go now. Leo quickly left. Adam stood alone, his lips curving into a cold smirk. It seemed he had underestimated Celine. Not only had she managed to captivate Nathan, but Nathan was actively looking for her. The person Nathan was interested in was actually Celine. Adam found it hard to believe that Nathan, with his impossibly high standards, could be drawn to someone from the countryside like Celine. Adam is such a psycho. He just keeps on saying countryside, countryside. They could play their games separately, but Nathan was off limits. After returning to the booth, Adam sat back in his seat. Nathan looked at him. What was your assistant here for? Adam's expression remained calm, his voice devoid of any emotion. There was an urgent document I needed to handle. I've already asked Leo to investigate the car. I will let you know as soon as I have information. Can you imagine that? Nathan nodded. Good. Sorry, I got a message, guys. Okay. Meanwhile, Carly and Melody's face were sour. Tonight was supposed to be Nathan's welcome party, with the two of them as the stunning centerpieces. Yet all the attention had shifted to an unknown woman. Melody clenched her fist in frustration. Who was this Vincent trying to steal Nathan's attention? Even Carly couldn't think of anyone in university who could overshadow like her like this. Determined to reclaim the spotlight, Carly stood up and flashed a dazzling smile. Adam, Nathan, let me dance for you both. I will lift the mood. Her words immediately leavened the atmosphere, and Benjamin and the other hairs cheered. Carly, you are a prima ballerina now, and we get to watch you perform without buying tickets. What a privilege. One of them said, we owe all this to Mr. Alvarez. Another chim, another chim. When Carly dances, no one else stands a chance. Someone else said, everyone, let's give a big round of applause. Chapter 26. Amid the crowd's expectant gazes and applause, Carly began to dance. Having trained in dance since childhood, her body was as supple as a willow. With a high kick, she transitioned into a mesmerizing spin, captivating everyone's attention. No one in Club 1996 could take their eyes off Carly. Radiating confidence, she spun her way over to Adam and pulled him up from his seat. Adam stood tall and lean as Carly's lithe body pressed against his, swaying with an alluring and seductive rhythm. When the stunning duo's intimate dance pushed the club's atmosphere to its peak, Celine and Ruben entered. Celine immediately spotted Adam and Carly standing in the center of the dazzling light, Carly clinging to him as they danced, while Adam lowered his charming face to gaze at her tenderly. The two were undeniably the center of attention. Ruben immediately spat off. Has she no shame at all, dancing so intimately with a married man? Celine chuckled and said, let them be. After all, they've always been known as the eighth couple. As they settled into their private boat, Ruben still couldn't let it go. Celine, you took dance lessons too, didn't you? Indeed, Celine had trained in dance just like Carly back then, while Carly needed a full lesson to learn a routine. Celine could master it with just one glance. Their dance teacher was naturally very fond of her. Carly would cry her eyes out at home, which led Lucy to jab Celine's leg with a needle at night, scolding her, let's see if you dare to learn dancing again. You wicked girl, why do you always have to compete with your sister? Little Celine's legs were covered in blood from the needle pricks, curling up in a corner. She cried and begged for mercy. Mommy, it hurts, I'm sorry, I won't dance anymore. Celine never danced again after that. She later heard that Carly had made a name for herself in the dance world, becoming a prima ballerina. Ruby suddenly pulled Celine up and said, let's go dance in the crowd. She then dragged her onto the dance floor. Initially, Celine felt a little embarrassed, but Ruben made an exaggerated hip wiggle and said, Celine, don't punish yourself for someone else's mistakes. Get back up where you fell. Look at how Carly flaunts herself to seduce your husband. Clearly, Adam prefers bold women. We need to be bolder than she is. Celine was amused. Under the influence of the pounding heavy metal music and Ruben's encouragement, she began moving her hands and feet, dancing along. Dancing had always come as naturally to Celine as breathing. Moving closer to Ruben, she let loose with a sultry routine of her own, dancing with abandon as the music heated up. Meanwhile, Carly was still dancing closely with Adam, whose gait had never once left her. She spun gracefully into his arms. Adam held her wrist and asked softly, getting tired? Carly smiled and replied, no, I just want you to hold me. Adam raised an eyebrow, exuding his mature masculine charm. He was undeniably fond of Carly, admiring her talent and brilliance. Suddenly, a commotion stirred around them. The gaze that had been fixed on Carly began to shift. Even the worthy hairs in their boots turned their attention. Look over there. Someone shouted, there's a diva dancing on the dance floor. Wow, she's hot. Adam and Carly both turned toward the dance floor and saw Celine. Adam's expression changed abruptly as Nathan stood up, exclaiming excitedly, it's her. Okay, I don't know if it's a Bible quote or I think it's a Bible quote, something like that. Adam is trying to hide Celine from Nathan. He even told Leo not to go and fix the car abroad so that Nathan would never find Celine. Not knowing Celine was on her way there. You see, in this life you can meet your worst enemy. You are divorcing her. Someone is interested in her. This guy is serious about her. He loves her. And you are trying to prevent it. Meanwhile, you are divorcing her. Nathan instantly, we are in chapter 27. Nathan instantly recognized Celine. Carly hadn't expected to see Celine on the dance floor. Okay. Callie hadn't expected to see Celine on the dance floor, yet there she was, dancing closely with Ruben. Though both were dancing, Callie had to admit that Celine's moves were more alluring and bolder than hers. All the men at Club 196 had their eyes on Celine. Some even whistled and hollered, their gaze filled with admiration. Though both were dancing, Callie had to admit that Celine's moves were more alluring and bolder than hers. All the men at Club 196 had their eyes on Celine. Some even whistled and hollered, their gazes filled with admiration. Callie clenched her teeth, unable to believe that a country pumpkin like Celine could dance like that. Somehow, Celine had effortlessly stolen her spotlight, even though Callie was a prima ballerina. Why couldn't Celine just stay out of her way for once? As Celine fumed, she felt Adam's grip on her waist loosen. He stepped forward, his gaze fixed on Celine for a long moment. Callie, Callie gritted her teeth even harder, furious that he couldn't take his eyes off Celine. Meanwhile, Benjamin and a few other worthy hairs rose from their seats, their faces filled with shock. They finally recognized the captivating woman on the dance floor. It was Celine Tate. Celine Tate? Benjamin exclaimed in disbelief. One of the most annoying characters in this story for me is Benjamin. And the fact that he had to be Adam's friend. It really annoys me. Ever since Celine decided to divorce, she had transformed into someone unrecognizable, someone her acquaintances could hardly believe was the same person. So her so her name so her name is Celine Tate. Nathan asked. Benjamin nodded. Nate, do you know her? Nathan's eyes lit up. Yes, she is the woman I've been looking for. What? Gasps rippled through the group as they struggle to believe it. Guys, I still don't understand why it's like a big deal for Celine to come from the countryside. Like in Ghana, we say that she comes from the village. Like, if someone comes from the village, like, what's the big deal about it? Why do they find it so? It's like it's an abomination. Okay. The fierce yet ethereal woman who had captivated Nathan was in fact Celine Tate. Benjamin stammered, Nate, are you sure? Melody was the most shocked of all. After all, no one egged her more than Celine, the so-called ugly duckling from the countryside. Nate, why would you be interested in Celine? Carly asked, disbelief evidence in her voice. Stop joking, Nate. This isn't funny. But Nathan ignored them all. His gaze locked on Celine as he chuckled indulgently. Turns out she's got a wild side too. Adam's charming face darkened. Although he had already handled the issue with the sports car, it seemed inevitable that what was meant to happen, of course, that's the that's the phrase I was looking for. What was meant to happen was still unfold. What was meant to happen will happen, no matter what you do. Like if it's God's will for it to happen, it will happen. He hadn't expected Celine to show up at the club, let alone dance so provocatively. If Celine could dance so widely with another woman, he, he couldn't imagine how passionate she would be dancing with a man. Was she truly so eager to play with men? As their dance ended, Celine cheerfully stepped off the dance floor with Ruby, her skin glistering with sweat from her lively routine. On, on their way back to their private boat, they passed by Adam's luxurious boat. Hi, beautiful, we meet again, Nathan called out. Celine paused, turning to look at Nathan. She quickly recognized him as the man who had approached her in the sports car. It's you, she said. Nathan smiled warmly. That's right, the name's Nathan Lynch. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. It must be fate. May I buy you a drink? Chapter 28. She had never expected Nathan to be interested in Celine. Sneering disdainfully, she said, Don't worry about her. Neither Adam nor Nathan would ever truly fall for that country bumpkin. She's way out of their league. Adam and Nathan were the most sought after men among the elite women of Mercy. That made Celine think she stood a chance. Adam, sorry, what made Celine think she stood a chance? Adam, wait for me, Callie called out as she hurried after him. Left behind, Melody stomped her foot in frustration. This wasn't over, Celine. Ruben pulled Celine into Nathan's luxurious car, deciding they should take his ride home. Soon, Nathan noticed through the rearview mirror that a Rolls Royce Phantom was trailing them. It was Adam's car. He frowned and muttered, Why is Adam following us? Ruben glanced at the car behind them, smirking knowingly. Mr. Lynch, do you think you could lose Mr. Alvarez's car? Nathan chuckled. I've raised Adam a This your love, it is all I want. This your grace, now my home embrace. Daddy, let me see. So guys, I had to pause to go get something done. So we are continuing from, we are in chapter 28. Okay, Ruben glanced at the car behind them, making no willing. Mr. Lynch, do you think you could lose Mr. Alvarez's car? Nathan chuckled. I've raced Adam a few times. He's a great driver. And I rarely beat him. Catching a glimpse of Celine's elegant face in the rearview mirror, he added, Tom doesn't meet many equals on the road. Maybe I should set up a race between you two. Celine and between you two, Celine, and see who is better. Celine smiled faintly but said nothing. As Adam's car continued to trail them, Nathan pressed harder on the accelerator. Let's see if I can shake him off now. Celine smiled faintly but said nothing. As Adam's car continued to trail them, Nathan pressed harder on the accelerator. Let's see if I can shake him off now. In the Rolls Royce, Callie sat in the passenger seat as Adam drove. When Nathan speeded up, Adam tightened his grip on the steering wheel and stepped on the gas, matching the pace. The cars rolled down the road, accelerating faster and faster. Callie felt as though she might be flung out at any moment. Her stomach churned as she pleaded, Adam, slow down, you're going too fast. Adam's face betrayed no emotion, but this sharp profile radiated his sharp but his sharp profile radiated a chilling determination. Ignoring Callie's protest, his Rolls Royce streaked through the neon lit streets like a king of the night. Callie, pale and trembling from her weak heart, screamed, Adam, stop the car. No, no, please, slow down. Chapter 29. Carly's scream forced Adam to slam on the brakes, bringing the Rolls Royce to a sudden halt. Gasping for air, she was visibly shaking. Adam, why were you driving so fast? Adam's expression remained dark. He glanced ahead, noticing that the Lamborghini he had nearly caught up to had already speed off into the distance during this brief stop. Pressing his lips together, he asked, Are you okay? Carly nodded and replied, I'm fine. She then added bitterly, I can't believe Celine is now cozying up to Nathan. Did you see her dancing in the club earlier? I bet she spent her time in the countryside learning tricks to seduce men after dropping out of school at 16. That woman has no shame. Adam's gaze turned icy as images of Celine dancing alluringly on the dance floor replayed in his mind. Carly was right. Celine clearly knew how to seduce men. That must be why Nathan, who had such high standards for women, fell for her charm. Adam did Adam, did you finalize the divorce with Celine today? Carly asked. Not yet, Adam replied. Carly was taken aback. Why not? I thought you went to settle it today. Grandma is very fond of Celine. Grandma is very fond of Celine. Considering her health, I decided to postpone the divorce for now, Adam explained. Mary intervened in the divorce. Carly knew that Mary had never been fond of her. Instead, she favored Celine and constantly supported her. This truth left Carly feeling deeply threatened. She couldn't help but wonder if Adam and Celine would remain married as long as Mary was around, keeping her from her keeping her from ever becoming Mrs. Alvarez. Feeling frustrated, Carly asked, Adam, why do you always listen to your grandmother? What about me? I'm not getting any younger. And a woman's youth is her most valuable asset. How much longer do you expect me to wait? Adam glanced at her and replied, If you had agreed 3 years ago, you would already be my wife. And Celine would never have had the chance to take your place. His sharp words left Carly momentarily speechless. Realizing she needed to change her approach, Carly softened her tone and leaned closer, wrapping her arms around his neck. I'm sorry, Adam. I just want to marry you so badly. However, her softened demeanor failed to sway Adam that night. Gently removing her hands from his neck, he said indifferently, I'll take you home. Left with no choice, Carly leaned back in her seat, her eyes glinting into with a cold determination. She hated waiting passively. When she wanted something, she made it happen. Adam and Celine's divorce had to be finalized to no one, not even Mary could stand in her way. Half an hour later, Adam arrived home, parking his Rolls Royce on the lawn of Alvarez residence. Entering the living room, he found it empty. Celine was nowhere to be seen. His irritation grew. She should have been home by now. Nathan must have dropped her off long ago, unless they had gone somewhere else together. Pulling out her phone, Adam dialed her number. When she answered, after a brief ringtone, he asked coldly, Celine Tate, why aren't you home yet? Celine replied calmly, Have you forgotten Mr. Alvarez? I told you I won't be returning to Alvarez residence anymore. Adam retorted, How am I supposed to explain that to Grandma? If she doesn't see you, if she doesn't see you, get back here this instant. Why do you insist on staying out? Who are you even with? Hmm. Can you imagine that, guys? Can you imagine? Yeah, let's go to chapter 30. Despite Adam's question, Celine hung up without a word, leaving him speechless. Damn you, Celine, how dare you hang up on me? Adam thought. Noticing Alfred Water, the butler walking toward him, Adam ordered Alfred, call Mrs. Alvarez. Tell her that grandma isn't feeling well and she needs to come back immediately. Alfred was taken aback. But Mr. Alvarez, Mrs. Alvarez Sr. is sleeping soundly after taking Mrs. Alvarez medicinal soup. She's fine. Adam rolled his eyes. Just lie, lie. Alfred was startled. Mr. Alvarez, I don't think that's a good idea. Mrs. Alvarez has been taking care of you and Mrs. Alvarez Senior for the past 3 years. She's worked hard. Why not let her have a little time to relax this evening? Adam's tone turned cold. Alfred, make the call. Noticing the sharp glare, Alfred quickly pulled out his phone. Yes, Mr. Alvarez, right away. Adam crossed his arms, his forehead throbbing with anger. Can you imagine the guy? This household was outrageous. No one listened to him anymore. And it was all Celine's fault. She had been completely spoiled by Mary. Oh my God, this man is. Oh my goodness. Half an hour later, Celine rushed over. Grandma, is Grandma all right? Asked Celine anxiously as she opened the door. However, to her surprise, the living room was completely silent and pitch black. Why aren't the lights on? Celine reached out to find the wall light. Suddenly, a large hand grabbed her wrist and pulled her hard. Celine gasped and found herself being pulled into a warm, firm chest. The man wrapped his arms around her and forcefully pushed her against the wall. Despite the darkness, Celine knew who it was. After all, there was only one person who dared to act so rudely in Alvarez's residence. Trying to push him away, Celine asked, "What are you doing? What are you doing, Adam?" Adam let out a low, cold laugh. "Adam, didn't you say you don't know me? Wasn't I just a stranger to you?" After adjusting to the darkness, Celine could make out his sharp, gloomy expression under the faint moonlight streaming through the floor to ceiling windows beside them. Feeling confused, Celine asked, "Adam, are you seriously mad because I said I didn't know you? Only a handful of people in your circle even know about our marriage. What was I supposed to do? Announce it and make you look like a jerk while Carly is branded the mistress?" Furious at her sharp words, Adam grabbed her chin. "How noble of you. Are you sure you are not denying it because you are already lined up your next target?" Oh my goodness. Next target? What are you talking about? Nathan Lynch? Adam's shout startled Celine. She finally realized he had misunderstood her relationship with Nathan. However, instead of explaining, she simply smiled. "Adam, we agreed to stay out of each other's personal lives. I didn't say a word about you dancing intimately with Carly at the club. So you should stay out of my business with Nathan." Celine tried to push past him, but Adam's hand clamped down on her shoulder, pinning her back, pinning her back against the wall. The impact sent a dull ache through her shoulder, making her gaze turn icy. Can you imagine this? This one, Alvarez, Adam. Adam, let me make this clear. I was nice to you because I had a crush on you. But that doesn't give you the right to treat me however you please. I'm over you, Adam. I think Adam is going to die from this. So, guys, this is the end of chapter 30. Let's go to chapter 31, then we stop. Okay. Even though Celine had an unhappy childhood, she never lost the courage to love, whether it was Lucy or Adam. She had always loved with passion and unreservedness. Loving someone didn't make a person weak or inferior, and love should never be used as an excuse to take advantage of her. Besides, she had already given up on love. She no longer loved Adam. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Adam's cold gaze locked onto her resolute expression, a mocking smirk tugging at his lips. "Really? You're over me?" "Yes, I." Before Celine could finish her sentence, Adam lowered his head and pressed his lips to hers, forcefully capturing them. Celine's mind went blank as her eyes widened in disbelief. Adam was kissing her. So Celine is always saying that Adam is not a good kisser. So today he's going to prove to Celine that he can kiss. Okay. Celine's mind went blank as her eyes widened in disbelief. Adam was kissing her. This wasn't their first kiss. The last time in the bathroom, she had clung to him and initiated it herself. But this time, he was the one taking the lead. Celine began to struggle, pushing against him. "Let go of me." Adam's tall, imposing frame pinned her slender body firmly against the wall. His cool, unyielding lips pressed down on hers with an air of dominance and conquest. He seized the moment she parted her lips to deepen the kiss. In that instant, his unique presence consumed her senses, a clean, fresh, masculine scent that was distinctly his. Celine had never been close to any other man besides Adam. She was as pure as a blank canvas. Her experienced body reacted sensitively to their closeness, a fiery blush spreading across her face. Her hands, which had been pressing against his chest, slowly curled, clutching the luxurious fabric of his shirt between her fingers. Her knees grew weak. Hmm, Celine, you're too weak. Noticing her legs giving out, Adam wrapped his strong arms around her waist, holding her firmly in his embrace. Slowly releasing her, he ended the kiss. You, Colin stammered, her face. Sorry, you, Celine stammered, her face flashed a deep crimson. Adam's voice dripped with mockery. "Is this what you call being over me? Look at yourself. You can barely stand after." You can barely stand after my kiss. He recalled the time Celine had teased him for being a bad kisser. Now, he was the one making, and she was the one left speechless. The mockery hit Celine like a bucket of cold water, extinguishing the lingering warmth in her cheeks. It was only then she realized the kiss was meant to humiliate her. Adam hadn't been bothered to close the eyes during the kiss. Sorry, Adam hadn't even bothered to close his eyes during the kiss. Instead, he had coldly watched her as she fell into disarray, which he found amusing. Gazing at her still, as at her still dazed expression, Adam not added, "Is that all it takes to get you flustered?" As a man in his prime, Adam knew exactly how to wield your power, and his unrelenting cruelty towards her was razor sharp. Celine felt embarrassed and deeply humiliated. She hated him, but what she detested even more was herself. Her body still reacted to him, perhaps down. She still harbored feelings for him, and he had turned that into a weapon to ridicule her. However, Celine wasn't the kind of woman to let herself be trampled on. If someone struck her, she struck back just as hard. After collecting herself, she leaned in closer to Adam, her chin held high. That's right, and that's why I'm looking for someone else. You can't satisfy me if you can't really please Carly. If you can't, if you can really please Carly, then I can find another man to fulfill my needs. What are you so smug about, Adam? If Nathan kisses me, I'll react the same way. She deliberately emphasized Nathan's name as she spoke. So this is the end of chapter 31, and this is where we end. So we're going to continue from chapter 32 in the next chapter. Thank you so much, guys. But I really want to ask you guys questions. What is wrong with men? You're divorcing the woman, okay? You're divorcing the woman. You say she's from the countryside, she's a nobody, she's illiterate, she's this, she's that. Right. Even though Adam saw Celine to be illiterate, he should be wise enough to know that the girl is she's intelligent, guys. She's very intelligent. Although he didn't know about Celine's educational background, he should still know that Celine is intelligent. She's not dumb, and she was a good woman. So if you feel like your standard is high, you have reached your prime, and then Celine is not good for you, and you're divorcing her, and now your friend Nathan is interested in Celine, you're still angry. What is wrong with Adam Alvarez? Like, hello, you don't like Celine. You say she's this and that, blah 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 blah. Forgive my voice. And then now I've been singing, I've been singing the whole day. And now your friend Nathan is interested in Celine. You're angry. What is wrong with this guy? And what is wrong with all men? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't love Celine. Your friend is in love with her. You're angry. It's like he doesn't wish well for Celine. I don't know how to. Like, I don't get men, guys. Please let me know in the comment though. How do you feel about this story? What do you think Celine should do with this Adam man? If it were me, I would not be at where Adam is. That's the truth. I will not be at where he is. But Celine always finds herself at the same place as Adam. I really understand her. So guys, we'll continue the next chapter. I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And please subscribe to this channel for more. I'll see you guys again in another video. But until then,